So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and I'm going to be talking about the fight which took place between KSI versus Tommy Fury. Now, when talking about this fight, you have to take into consideration that it was a misfits fight, and this fight wasn't professionally sanctioned, but it was a fight between a boxer and a YouTuber. Now, when you're watching this fight, you couldn't really tell the difference between both guys. You couldn't tell the difference who was the boxer, who wasn't the boxer. And that was a bit of a shame because Tommy Fury, obviously, he's carrying the Fury name, so he's carrying that reputation. You know what I mean? Which he should have brought into the boxing ring, but that wasn't to be seen in this fight. And he looked average. He looked like a poor man's version of being a boxer, which is quite sad, really, because he should be taking people like KSI and his previous opponent Jake Paul apart, but he just, you know what I mean? There was no difference in that ring, and it was very sloppy, very like poor, and just it wasn't a good look. And I'm sitting there, and I'm only watching it because there's no other boxing on, and I'm thinking, like, would I really pay to go and watch this event live? As a true boxing fan, the answer is no. But if you're not really into your boxing and you're pretty much looking at KSI or Jake Paul or Logan Paul, you know what I mean, in regards to what they do outside of boxing, then you're going to be going more because of who they are outside rather than their boxing skills. And hats off to people like those guys because they're not boxers, but they're going in there against some boxers and MMA guys and old fighters and giving it a go. And he did well to a point. As I said, it was a scrappy fight between both of these guys, and you couldn't really tell who was the boxer and who was a YouTuber. But KSI did well to hold his own. When looking at both of the guys in the ring, Tommy Fury was by far the bigger man. Just looked bigger in body and size. But KSI had the speed, the movement, the agility. But what that did to him in the latter rounds was fatigue KSI. You can see he was blowing and puffing quite a lot because he was working extra hard to stay on his tiptoes and avoid getting caught by Tommy Fury because he didn't really want to get caught early on because he knew that he had 6 rounds to go. And he was pretty much kind of hoping that he would catch Fury with a big right hand of his own, which he kind of caught him in the first opening seconds of the first round. It was a bit of a flash right hand, which caught Fury on his neck. Wobbled him slightly, give or take, but didn't really cause him too much trouble. But anyhow, going forward from here, KSI at the end of the fight pretty much said that he got robbed. I wouldn't call it a robbery. I'd probably call it more, how could I say it? A very close fight where, if I'm brutally honest, I'd say that this fight was a draw between both of these guys. I don't feel as if Tommy Fury did enough to win, but I also feel that with the points deduction and from my point of view, KSI taking the first two maybe 3 rounds, give or take. Um, yeah, you could possibly say that regardless of how you're scoring it, the fight I feel should have been a draw on the night. Obviously, you guys can let me know your thoughts in regards to how you feel this fight should have been scored, and do you feel that Tommy Fury was the deserving winner? Do you feel that he showed that he is a class above the misfit fighters such as KSI and Jake Paul and Logan Paul and people like that? Do you feel that he is a boxer? Do you feel that Tommy Fury could potentially mix it with other professional boxers around maybe British level or European level? Do you feel that Tommy Fury in the future will become a world champion? I think that is a big question because I feel that this is his level. I feel that he's not going to be making the money that he's making if he continues to try and go on the professional path and maybe try and fight some professional boxers and maybe win a British title or maybe a European or try and compete for a world title at some point. I don't feel that he's got the skills which will possess him to win a world title. But one thing which I do think is quite interesting and you have to take into account is that sometimes as a boxer and as a professional, you drop your standards when you fight in lower opposition. So this could just be the case for Tommy Fury. It could just be the case where he didn't really feel too much troubled against KSI and even Jake Paul when he fought him, and he was pretty much in first gear, second gear when he fought him and got the decision. And he probably feels that if he does try and step up to the pro game and actually compete again, fighting against some proper professional boxers, maybe compete for some of the titles, that he might step up his game and probably actually do something. So that could be a possibility as well. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see where he goes. I do feel that this is his level, this is his remit, and he should stay there and cash out by fighting other YouTubers and people like that. Maybe even try and, you never know, call out people like Conor McGregor and I don't know, like Floyd Mayweather, people like that. Because obviously he will get money for those type of fights. Obviously he is bigger than those guys that I've mentioned, but this is Misfits, isn't it? This is Misfits. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. I honestly didn't think I was going to watch it, but there was no other boxing on TV, so it was one of them, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to switch on and watch it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. How do you feel the fight was scored, and do you feel that Tommy Fury was a deserving winner? As always, bless.